Hello family and friends, I'm Susan and welcome to my home. Hey everybody, it's Susan here and today we're going to make a Philly cheesesteak the way I make a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. It is adapted from a Philly cheesesteak stuffed bell pepper recipe I had, and it's extremely good. A good sandwich to make if you're going fishing or camping or out running around and want something to take. It's really tasty. Ponytail up. Let's get to cooking. Today I'm going to adapt a Philly cheesesteak stuffed bell pepper recipe into a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. The recipe that I did is 10 ounces of thinly sliced roast beef, which I've got other types of meat, 8 slices of provolone cheese, which I've got, 2 large green bell peppers, a medium sweet onion, 6 ounces of baby bella mushrooms, which I just use mushroom pieces, and then we got 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of garlic, and then some salt and pepper to taste. So we've got the butter, the olive oil. Here's the meat I'm using. It is beef strips for stir fry, which I like thinly cut meat. It's already cut. All you gotta do is just put it in there. I have made it with the sliced roast beef that you get in the deli area, and it is really good. But you know, whatever meat's cheap and easy for you to get is what you use. And then the provolone cheese, onion, mushroom pieces, right there, or excuse me, sliced mushroom. I've got some hoagie rolls, or sub rolls, that's all I could find. And then of course the minced garlic, and my 2 big bell peppers. I'm going to cut up the bell peppers, going to cut up the onion, and then we'll come back and we'll start putting everything in the pan. I don't know if I told y'all how easy of a recipe this is, but this is almost a dump and go. All you have to do is cut up your vegetables and get your sliced meat, and then you're ready to roll. And I'm going to go ahead and put the bell peppers in the pan. I want this to sear down a little bit and get softened up, and then I'll start adding the rest of the stuff. Okay, the pan is now good and hot. It's starting to warm up the bell peppers. I am going to put in the olive oil, which I'm using Mediterranean olive oil, which you can use whichever kind you like. 2 tablespoons. And you can see it's starting to bubble a little bit. Turn it down a bit. Turn it down just a smidge. Right now it's on medium. I'm going to add in the heaping tablespoon of minced garlic. Because y'all know I like mixed garlic. And 2 tablespoons of butter, salted. We're going to let that melt together a little bit. And get these bell peppers sauteing so they'll start getting soft. And then I'll add the onions and the mushrooms next. So let me cover this and let it saute. We'll be back in a minute and I'll add the rest. Okay, it's been sauteing for about 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add the onion, which this will put some fluid into the pot. It'll basically cook out some of its juices and make it taste good. And I'm trying to separate as much as I can on top of the bell pepper. And I did go ahead and cut up a small sweet onion to go with the medium one, because I just didn't think the medium onion was quite big enough. Okay, now we've got that in there. Stir that around a little bit. And I'm going to cover it for about 5 minutes. And it is again on medium. And then I'm going to add the mushrooms. It's been about 5 minutes. And it's time to add the mushrooms. Like I said, I'm going to be adding just some sliced mushrooms. I've got 2 small containers because I didn't have a big one. I normally have the bigger one. And here's this. I do like mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to put it in there, but I do like the mushrooms in the Philly cheesesteak. There's something about it that makes it taste really, really good. And we're going to mix this around and let it simmer for about another 5 minutes. I'm going to put the meat in. I've let this saute about 5 more minutes. As you can see, the bell peppers are starting to get soft. They aren't quite soft enough yet, but that's okay because we're going to let this simmer for a little bit. The next thing is to put in the steak. And I'm going to try to separate them up as much as I can. As you can see, I'm trying to separate them up. That way they'll all mingle in amongst the onions and the bell peppers and get all of that good flavor in with that meat. And mind you, whenever you go to Geno's or some of the other Philly cheesesteak places in Philadelphia, they use sliced prime rib. Well, we can't afford that. So we're using the next best thing, which is sliced steak for fajitas. And it works really well. Once you saute these for about 30 minutes, which is what's going to happen, I'm going to cover them once I get this done. I'm going to stir them up and then cover them. And then saute them for 30 minutes. And then they'll just be falling apart in your mouth. And be so flavorful. Alright, there's all the meat. Looks like a lot, I know, but it's going to shrink up as it cooks. So it won't be quite as much as it's looking right now. And I'm trying to stir it around, getting it in the pot, trying to get it separated out as good as I can. Because I'm going to turn it low and let it simmer for 30 minutes. And then we'll come back and we will build our Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. So this has been simmering on probably medium-low, about a number 2, for 30 minutes. And if you notice, there is lots of juice in here, which is what you want. I did wind up adding a little more garlic because I do like it very garlicky. And it's ready to plate on the bun. So let me turn you around and show you how I put it on the bun. Now, because the only buns I could get were sub rolls, they're a little bit larger than I normally like, but they will work. What I'm going to do is I am going to put some mayonnaise on it. Don't know if everybody does that on the Philly cheesesteak, but I do like mayonnaise on it. So I'm going to go through here, put some mayonnaise. And of course, it's Duke's. I'm from the South. That's the way we roll around here. I've got the mayonnaise on the bottom. I'm going to add the cheesesteak to the top of it. Right here. And of course it's falling off, but that's okay. Here's a little bit more. Now, I'm actually going to add a little more provolone to the very top of the sandwich. I did add some salt and pepper to the meat. Get back on that sandwich. Oh my goodness. And then of course put the top on. Now, if you want your sandwich to be really juicy, what you can do is wrap it in some aluminum foil and let it set for a few minutes. It'll melt the cheese and it'll make it extra juicy, which is what I'm going to do with this sandwich. Put this in the aluminum foil, wrap it up for just a few minutes. It is already juicy to begin with, but that would help melt the cheese, and I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. I've kept it in the aluminum foil for just a few minutes to get the cheese to melt around it a little bit. And it is. And there's lots of good juices in there. Lots of good juice. Now I'm going to get this cut up. And this is actually Danny's. Alright. Ooh, can you see that cheese pull? Philly cheesesteak. Good, juicy, amazing, and really simple. I hope you enjoyed today's video. The Philly cheesesteak sandwiches were really good. I doubled the meat and forgot to double the bell pepper and onion. which it was really good, but it would have been even better if I would have put twice as much bell pepper and onion. I kind of miscalculated the meat. I thought I was a little over 10 ounces. I was almost double whenever I looked at the packages. But it's really easy. It's almost a dump and go. You just get everything in the pan, saute them for a little bit, and then put your meat in, and then let it basically simmer for at least 30 minutes. You want to make sure that your meat is the doneness that you would like. You don't want it to be too chewy. You want it to be nice and almost fall apart, which, you know, after 30 minutes, depending on how thick your meat is cut, should get it right. I have used the deli roast beef before and just cut it into strips and use that, and it makes a really great Philly cheesesteak also. Tried the steak-um stuff, and I didn't care for it. I just didn't like the flavor as good. I like this flavor better. So choose your meat, whichever one it is, the roast beef or the thin sliced steak, and then add your other ingredients and you know, make you a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. They are so good and portable. And once you melt that cheese on them, oh, you saw that cheese pull. Until next time, I hope you have a great week. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos.